All right, Mom. So first off, getting to what happened the other night, I was in my car, of course, and on April 10th, so a week from before yesterday, I was I went to my Suboxone appointment, and so my car was left to 10 for a half an hour maybe, locked. But when I got back, I noticed something terrible, and that was I couldn't get in the trunk, and that's really, really scary. I can't get in with the key fob. I can't get in with the the button here, and then also there's nothing I can do about getting in from this side, or from the inside. It's like a total fortress there, and so there's no way that that's accidental. But what happened was that when I noticed that, I kind of went into protection mode just to find out what. Basically, I know when you're responsible for something, Mom, and you're not able to get clarity on it with any kind of surveillance or whatever, that eventually the only option that you have is to send somebody to get those answers from me, and the only people that can do that are the police, and so just as a statistic here, in my entire life of driving and owning a car, I've had my car searched 5 times. My entire life. Guess how many times of those 5 have happened in the last 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks? 4 out of 5. Okay, and then the other time was caused by you as well. Like 10 years ago. So that's not a good statistic there. But anyways, it just shows that while I've been here with, anytime you want to know, demand an answer, you can't get the answer to from figuring out the location of my phone or what's on my phone or whatever. You have to send, find a way to get the police to do it. And I don't have any just, animosity towards the police. I just feel like, I have a huge benefit of the doubt. I just feel a lot of goodwill towards the police, and I feel like even if they end up, asking questions or getting information that seems like it's on your behalf, I still feel like that it doesn't mean that they're part of what you're doing per se. They just could have been, fed certain information, or they have certain people that are pressuring them at work. I don't even know, but I think it's a really big point to make sure that the people that end up having to do these things, that that they don't, nobody automatically assumes that they're part of all that I've dealt with from you and your partner's mom, and that's really important. But so what night was that? That was maybe Monday or Sunday night. So but I was ready for it. I parked in a very nice area, perfect area, legally parked. I had my car on just because it was warm during the day. I needed the AC and get some air running, and then I also need to charge my phone, which is just fine. So I but my car idles very, very quietly, like incredibly quietly. So there's just nobody was bothered by it. Not only that, I don't actually leave it idling, all just round the clock. I turn it off sometimes and then turn it on. So I was doing it, of course, everything perfectly. And then a guy comes up to me. A couple guys during the day came up and just knocked on my window. Not police. The first 2 times it happened during the day, I just assumed actually, oh, okay, the police are here but it actually wasn't. It was just regular people. And so I rolled down the window and was like, hey, what can I do for you? You know, well, yeah. First off, I did. I motioned through the glass like, "What do you want?" And they wouldn't go away until I rolled down the window. In other words, since the glass is so tinted here, they wanted to peek in to see who was in there, aka to confirm that it was me. And then as soon as I rolled down the window, they went away. And so once that started happening, I was like, okay, some sort of police is going to show up here at pretty soon. And, so I was ready. When I say ready, I'm always ready, but I always know the line of questioning, the questions that you need answered desperately. So I'm very eager to see if they, if they match the agenda. What were the questions that I knew you wanted eager, just answers on? Well, the whole scene going on with the trunk of the car. So basically knowing, do I know what's back there? Do I know that the trunk is locked yet? Have I tried, what's the extent of my knowledge about that? That'd be pretty important. Because I wasn't giving that away at all. And also, you'd like to know how much money I have and how much money I have access to. That would be a huge thing to know about. Really, those are the top two things for sure. But the other thing was, we'll talk about it in a sec. Anyways, they show up at nighttime. They knock on the back window, which is funny because that's where I was. Whatever. So I answer them and, get my shoes on and, just explain I was minding my own business in the back of the car. So he asks me, and I've seen the guy before. His name is Officer Sherman. He's a nice guy. He's got a Jersey accent. And we're talking a little bit about sports and stuff like that. But, I noticed that there were three of them, and one of the guys was kind of silently standing in the background. It was kind of weird. I thought, well, that's odd, but whatever. But the one guy was the only one who identified himself, and it didn't take long before he asked me if he could search the car. And of course I always say yes, but of course, I knew what the deal was, so I immediately said, no problem, but just so you know, there's this problem with the trunk, and I can't get it open. I can't, the key fob won't work, and the button won't work, and it's really alarming. And I did mention the whole thing about my, this car and what's been going on with it, and the surveillance systems in here as well. Mentioned that. So he said, okay, can I see the key fob? So I handed it to him, and I don't know what he did with it, but then I showed him the button over here on the driver's side, and he sort of confirmed that it doesn't work. But that was it. It was, that was it for the trunk. And then he, incredibly, when he goes to open the front seat, he finds something that I've actually been looking for. And that is the police report that I made, a week and a half after after that miserable incident on January 16th. I had to go, I had to walk 10 miles to the police station because my keys, my phone, and my wallet were missing. And so I filed that report. And so I got a copy of it, and it's here. But for whatever reason, I don't know, in this tornado of a front seat, he just opens the front door and it's right, and he has it. And he's looking at it, and I say, oh yeah, that's a police report copy. That's the copy that it's my writing on there. But he said something like he's interested in the date of it, and so I was just like, yikes, that's definitely come from my mom. And I just felt like, okay, this is yeah, that's the deal. He also asked, he asked the regular Capitol Police questions. Are you interested in Congress and whatever, like that kind of stuff. But then he asked about money. He's in a way that was just like, come on, that's not it's not really, I didn't bring it up, and I've got however much money I have or whatever. That's not a normal question to to ask somebody. So, but I just felt like there was a little bit of tension from whoever the guy was standing behind him. He didn't say anything the whole time, and he kind of was just stoic. And I thought, maybe he's, like I said, there's pressure at work. But I actually tried to go talk to him the next day, but he was gone. Because there's this baseball card that he was asking me about, baseball cards too, or just sports cards, and I showed him, I'm really into collecting and that type of thing. But he asked about this Derek Jeter card that was sitting there, how much it's worth. But next day I just thought, maybe I'll give it to him. I was like, I think it ended up worth $25 or so. So I went back to see him because he said he's just right over here, at the Capitol Police, and there's like a stand over here. But then I went over there, and they said he didn't work there, which is alarming. So I have to. I don't know. That's something I gotta. I just gotta figure it out. And like I always said, I don't want to do anything to. I just want to make sure everything's okay and all that. Because, I mentioned that about the trunk. I mean, told him I was worried about, given the situation going on with this car, and how many different things are totally belligerently, shockingly criminal about what's going on. I think, it's noteworthy, all that stuff. So, but okay, fine. Let's talk about let's talk about that January 16th and why somebody would, be sent here to check out that police, the report that I had made, after the fact. Why would somebody, what would be so worrisome about that there, Mom? Well, honestly, the whole thing about sending those guys over here the other night, it sure seemed like a dress rehearsal for a situation where, police are called for some reason to look through my car and, find a reason to get it out of my hands, to destroy the evidence here, I guess. It sure felt like that, but in doing so, they wanted to make sure that nothing, pointed back at that evening. But it already does, of course. Whether that police report, whether what I made existed or not, there's still a lot to talk about there. That's for sure.